Texas lost a lot of top talent from that 2023 team that won the Big 12 and made it all the way to the college football playoff. Just check out the NFL draft. So for Texas to challenge in its new conference in the SEC this fall, of course, they would have to bring in more top talent. We run down the 5 top transfer players for Texas football in 2024 right here at the Voice of College Football. And speaking of top-end talent, Ja'Tavion Sanders, one of the best in the business at tight end and a freak athletic specimen, moves on to the NFL. And so Texas went out and got this guy from Alabama, Amari Niblack, 20 catches, 327 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He'll be a junior this fall. The Clearwater, Florida prospect out of the 2023 class as a top 100 player actually took it to Texas with a 39-yard touchdown in the game in Tuscaloosa this past fall. He is a superior athlete, catch radius, run after the catch, the whole deal. It is a matchup nightmare that Sark can certainly take advantage of. It's Amari Niblack, one of the top 5 players coming through the transfer portal for Texas football in 2024. If you can't beat them, join them. And that is the route that Matthew Golden is taking out of Houston to Texas. And of course, the Cougars almost did beat the Longhorns, and Matthew Golden almost had a hand in that. Caught a pass on 4th down to convert that final drive, and then had a 24-yard play as well on that final drive as Houston came within 10 yards of pulling off the upset. Golden, 38 catches for the Cougars last year, 38 the year before in 2022. 13 total touchdowns. A playmaker out of Houston, Matthew Golden, our 4th top newcomer to Texas football in 2024. The big sore spot for Texas football in 2023, of course, especially on the defensive side, was the secondary. Now they get some playmaking experience from a guy that's played in a lot of big ball games and played consistently. Andrew Makuba at the safety position, 35 games played, 4.33 40 speed, could have went to the NFL draft, wrapped up 42 tackles, 2 TFLs, 6 passes defense this past season, and again, in 35 games played in his career, 143 total tackles, and you see the rest of the stats down below, including 16 passes defense. The Texas secondary should be better based on recruitment and development, but also this guy, Andrew Makuba, coming in from Clemson. Alabama's been a big problem for all of college football for a long time, but not for Texas recently. Of course, 2 seasons ago, despite the Longhorns being a bit down at 8-5, they outplayed the Tide in Austin and should have won the ball game. Then they went to Tuscaloosa, got that dub, and now they take 2 of Bama's top playmakers, including this guy, Isaiah Bond. Incredible catch against Georgia in the SEC championship game to help the Tide pull off the upset against the Dogs. And with Texas losing its 3 top wide receivers, 65 catches, 888 yards, and 5 touchdowns this past year, ton of experience, 2 straight seasons of high productivity, 48 catches in 2022, 668 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And Bond said, plain and simple, this is a business decision. So we can think NIL, of course, on one hand, but we can also think of it this way. He certainly cited Quinn Ewers, Steve Sarkisian, 2 guys that are going to help him get to the NFL, and also wide receiver coach Chris Jackson. Isaiah Bond, the latest addition to the wide receiver corps, and the 2nd best newcomer to Texas football in 2024. And at the top of our list of the top 5 newcomers to Texas football here at the Voice of College Football would be edge rusher Trey Moore. Devastating 2 passing attacks across the American Conference out of Texas San Antonio this past season. 45 tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss, 14 of those sacks, and a pick, as he was All-America Conference Defensive Player of the Year, has been All-Conference 3 times. 105 total tackles, 22 sacks in 27 games, and 35.5 tackles for loss. Texas was strong up the middle last year, but they missed out on some edge rushers and pass rush from the outside. But they should be all set with Trey Moore, who should make the guy on the other side, of course, a whole lot better. Our number 1 player in the transfer portal coming to Texas this season, Trey Moore, UTSA. Leave your comments and questions down below with the voice of college football. We'll look at incoming freshmen and some of the top expected impact players there. And remember, our weekly show, Texas Live, Horns Huddle. That's Monday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central with Matthew Miller right here at the Texas channel at the voice of college football.